Conservative new media viewers and Jeremy Lin fans around the world, what's going on? We are here to go over Houston's 117-111 loss to the Sacramento Kings tonight in Sacramento, California. With the loss, Houston drops to 28-25 on the season. Sacramento improves to 19-33. The first thing I want to say, obviously, this was an incredibly frustrating loss. Sacramento, as a lot of people know, has a good chance of their team being done. Like, their team is going to maybe get moved to Seattle next year. So there's a lot of drama going on there. And Sacramento was playing on a back-to-back game tonight. But last night, they played the Utah Jazz and they won, and it was a big crowd there. And so the players were really amped up. And I think that carried over to tonight. I know before the game, Isaiah Thomas addressed the crowd, and I think he was thanking them for the support last night. And I really believe that carried over into tonight. And I think that had that incident not happened last night, had there not been a big turnout that was part of trying to get the Kings to stay in Sacramento, I don't think Sacramento would have won this game. I'm not excusing Houston for losing this game, but Sacramento was extra motivated tonight. And so, Houston was in the wrong place at the wrong time, basically. Okay, this was the 27th different team that Houston has played this year. I've told you guys before, there are 30 teams in the NBA. Houston is one of them, which means there are 29 opponents, other teams. And so now Jeremy has gone through 27 of the 29 teams, and so has the new Houston core. So that's good, although I do think that he picked up another revenge person in this game, and we'll get to that in a little bit. This was a close game. Houston had a 9-point lead early in the fourth quarter. What happened is Jeremy was in foul trouble. He got his fifth foul with about 9 minutes left in this game, and he had to sit down. And that's when Sacramento made a run. And then Jeremy came back in, and he fouled out in like 1 minute. This was unbelievably frustrating to watch this game. Houston's better than Sacramento, but like I said, Sacramento had the emotion, and they just were able to tap that emotion. And when Jeremy went out of the game, they went on a run. Particularly Isaiah Thomas went on a run. Unfortunately, this loss could be very costly for Houston. If they don't make the playoffs, they're going to look at a game like this and say we should have won that game. On the positive side, the Lakers, who are chasing the Rockets, and they're probably the most serious chaser at this moment, lost today. And so did Portland. So that's good. That's good. That definitely helps Houston because those teams lost. This was the first time all season that Jeremy Lin has fouled out. It's just something, I don't know, some of the calls or whatever. Isaiah Thomas is very short. He's short like J.J. Barea is short, which is, it's difficult to guard him for Jeremy because Jeremy's big. He's a lot bigger than those guys. Those are the types of players that give Jeremy trouble. Although I thought Jeremy did a great job on Isaiah Thomas in this game, at least while he was in the game. And then Isaiah Thomas did a lot of his damage when Jeremy came out of the game. And we've seen that with other players against the Rockets this year. Jeremy's a very good defender. And he just got too many fouls tonight. And that's something that a player has to learn. Even if the fouls aren't being called fairly, you have to know when to back off. And you have to know when to just, let the guy go, put your hands down, whatever. And that's a lesson for Jeremy. And he'll learn from this. It's unfortunate that it happened and it is a loss, but that's the way it goes. As I mentioned, Jeremy went out of this game with about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter because of the foul trouble. He came back in with about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, and then he fouled out of the game within about a minute of game time within coming back in. as I said, this is going to become a revenge situation for Jeremy. He played well in this game. I mean, his efficiency number compared to Isaiah Thomas was very similar. This isn't like Drew Holiday or the first game with Kemba Walker, where it was like Kemba efficiency 30, Jeremy efficiency 6. It wasn't like that at all. Isaiah Thomas's efficiency number was 24, and Jeremy's efficiency number was 19. So this is very close. But Isaiah Thomas went crazy in the fourth quarter. It honestly was a lot like Jeremy against the Philadelphia 76ers last year, where Jeremy had 16 points in the fourth. That might have been why Drew Holiday really laid it on Jeremy when they first played this year. Or actually, yeah, when their second meeting with the Sixers, that was the first time Drew played Jeremy this year. So he's going to have to wait till next year for Jeremy to try to get revenge. It was almost like that in reverse. And again, a lot of what Isaiah Thomas did wasn't against Jeremy. It was when Jeremy went out of the game. That's when he started attacking. And then when Jeremy came back in, he was in a groove. He was already rolling. And so he hit a couple shots on Jeremy, but that was because he had momentum already. James Harden was great in this game. 30 points, 6 boards, 4 assists. Omer Asik was also good. 17 points, 12 rebounds. Okay, let's turn to Jeremy. As I said, Isaiah Thomas is now on the revenge tour list with Drew Holiday after the fourth quarter in this game. Isaiah Thomas had 17 points in the fourth quarter, and he had 18 efficiency units in the fourth quarter. He's the guy that led the comeback. If it wasn't for him, Houston would have won this game. And if Jeremy wasn't in foul trouble, Houston would have won this game. That's what I think, and that's what I'm saying right here. For the game, Jeremy had 12 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. He played 29 minutes, shot 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 1 from three-point land, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 1 turnover, and 6 personal fouls. When you get 6 fouls in the NBA, that means you have fouled out. His plus-minus was a -1, and as I said, his efficiency number was 19. Isaiah Thomas's numbers through the first 3 quarters weren't that great. They were like, 6 points, 1 rebound, and 3 or 4 assists. But he ended up with 23 points and 6 assists because he scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. So as I said, Jeremy's definitely going to want some payback on that, and I don't blame him. I would too. And as I said, now it makes me understand why Drew Holiday might have gone after Jeremy this year, because he was playing when Jeremy did the Mr. Fourth Quarter against Philly last year. So I understand it. The one thing that's really important to understand if you watch this game is there shouldn't be any more confusion about how important Jeremy is to the team. If you watch the last 9 minutes of this game, and I like Patrick Beverley, and Tony Douglas, I believe, is out with a hip pointer. The offense totally clunked down without Jeremy in there. We went back to ISO ball, brick ball, turnover ball for misproof. That's what happened. And it happened because Jeremy wasn't in there to direct the offense. So all the haters, all the doubters, you want to see what this team looks like without Jeremy? You just saw it. And it doesn't look good. He is critical to this team. And that's the one thing, I guess, that's good from this game, is that should be very clear after what happened in the last 9 minutes of this game. Sacramento's not a good team. They played motivated tonight. So, they played better than they usually are, but they're not that good. But the offense just tanked without Jeremy being in there. Diana from Hong Kong, he asked me if the team loses often when Jeremy doesn't do well. Yeah, it does often lose when Jeremy doesn't do well. And I think tonight was a good example of that. Even though he played pretty well the whole game, because he wasn't around in the fourth quarter, you saw what happened to the team. So I think that was a good example. I messed up my notes. I'm not going to do a full quarter by quarter. I'm not feeling that hot, but I'm just going to go over the highlights. In the first quarter, Jeremy was doing very well to score in transition. We've talked about how it's important for him to get easy baskets. He got a couple of easy baskets in transition in the first quarter, and that helped him start to, get going on a positive note. Early in the second quarter, Jeremy had his only turnover of the game. Now, again, he had 6 assists to 1 turnover, which is a phenomenal assist to turnover ratio, 6 to 1. That's, you can't ask for anything better than that. Jeremy was trapped, meaning 2 guys came and surrounded him in the right side of the court, the right lower side of the court. And he tried to make a pass out to the top of the arc, like way extended, almost near the half-court line. And it got tipped and knocked out of bounds, and it was off of the Rockets. So that was really the only truly bad decision I thought that Jeremy made in this game. And it wasn't a terrible decision. If you're in that situation, if you see a teammate that's in Jeremy's position, trapped like that, you should run to him so he has somebody to pass to. And nobody did that. So Jeremy shouldn't have made the pass, but nobody helped him out either. So that's also important to point out. Okay, the absolute moment of the game, and everybody saw this, and you're going to see this all year. And anytime you see a Jeremy Lin highlight reel, you're going to see this, and you should see it. In the middle of the second quarter, with about 4 minutes and 54 seconds left, Jeremy got a rebound on the defensive rebound. Sacramento missed a shot. He got the rebound. He drove the entire length of the court, and he dunked right over, I believe, Francisco Garcia. Just a sick dunk. That's the best dunk I've probably ever seen Jeremy do, because he did it over somebody. I mean, Jeremy, we know in Lin Sandy 1.0, he had some great dunks, a couple of them, like the one against Washington and John Wall, but this was over somebody. What that tells me is he's being aggressive. His knee is feeling good. Again, we're getting further and further away from the period where the knee is going to be a concern at all. It was just a nasty dunk. I mean, you have to see it. know it's going to be in the highlights. I mean, there's no question about it. It's just an awesome, awesome play. It was great to see him do that and be that aggressive and be able to get his steps down and everything so he could get that dunk. That was phenomenal. Late in the second quarter, Jeremy he got his three-point shot about 20 degrees from the right, the top of the arc to the right, and it was off the dribble, and that was a phenomenal shot. And that's, again, he likes to shoot threes off of the dribble. He likes to shoot period off of the dribble rather than catch and shoot, meaning standing still, someone passes you the ball, and then you shoot. Although, as I mentioned in the last video, he's improving at that. He's improving at that. We said he's getting better in this offense, and tonight was another example of this. That's why this game is so frustrating. Jeremy played well in this game. He played efficient. He played great. It's just he got too many fouls, and then Sacramento took advantage of that. They took advantage of that. Jeremy started the fourth quarter on the bench. Patrick Beverly was playing well late in the third when he came in for Jeremy, and so Coach McHale kept him out there. And probably, again, he was probably trying to keep Jeremy out of foul trouble as well. Jeremy came back in the game with 9:48 left, and he had 4 personal fouls at that time. And as I mentioned, within about a minute, he got his 5th foul. Then he came back in with, 2:40 left. 3:40 left, and he fouled out with 2:40 left. So that's there isn't a lot to say about the fourth quarter because he didn't get to play very much, unfortunately. It was, the summary here, again, that this was a bad loss for the team. It's a learning experience for the team and for Jeremy. Like I said, I think this will help Coach McHale and the rest of the team understand how important Jeremy is. I think Jeremy will learn you've got to find a way not to get fouls when you're in a close game that you need to win. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you matador defense and let the guy go. You just got to know when not to do it, and he'll learn from that. Jeremy being out of the game cost Houston the game. I am convinced of that, and nobody will convince me otherwise. They were up by 7 or some points when he got his 5th foul and went out, and then, everything started turning away from that. As I said, this will be a revenge game. I believe that Jeremy will be looking for revenge the next time they play Sacramento, which is in, a couple weeks. They still have 2 more games against the Kings this year. So Jeremy will have his opportunities. The next one might be in Houston. I'm not sure about that. Okay, some comments and questions. APC GAM 24. Jeremy's not going to be traded. He's not getting traded. I know somebody answered you, and I can't remember who it was in the comments from the Game 52 video. He's not getting traded. Don't worry about that. That's not going to happen. Jeffrey Wynn, thanks for the props, man. Appreciate it. On the videos. Royce White, look, he's a talented guy. Maybe he could help this year. I know he's going down to the D-League, and look, if he can control his anxiety, I don't know what his playing schedule will be, if he'd only play home games so he doesn't have to fly. I have no idea what any of that. My guess is that he won't contribute much this year because he hasn't been playing. So even if he was prime Shaq physically, you still have to get used to playing with the guys, and he hasn't been doing that. Look, he could come in and rebound, though. We know that, there's power forwards that aren't the greatest rebounders on the Rockets, so maybe he could do that. I'm not expecting much from him this year, though, but if he can just come in and things can get worked out with him and the team, I would consider that success. That would be great because he is a talented guy, and if that can be worked through, even if it's just for next year, that would be awesome. Mr. Bordy Surrey, thanks for the kind words, man. As always, you're always really nice and polite. I appreciate that. OMG, by golly, wow. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Look, Jeremy's an icon. There's no other way to say it. Even though he's not the greatest player ever, and he's still young, but he deserves to have an analysis video after each game because he's critical to the NBA. He is one of the most important players in the NBA. And obviously, you can't overstate how important he is to the development of basketball in Asia and among the people of Asian descent living in America and living in Canada, living everywhere. Jeremy is huge. He's just so big. You watched the game tonight and you saw them running the Chinese language ads on the sideline tables there. That's not happening unless Jeremy Lin's playing. I talked about this in the last game. This guy's making money for everybody in the league, for every team, for every player, for everybody. We talked about how Dwayne Wade went up to him after the Miami game. Yeah, you want to know why, in my opinion? Because Dwayne Wade just signed a shoe deal in China. So you better be nice to Jeremy Lin. You want to get over well, you better be nice to Jeremy Lin. And that's just reality. And I'm not punking out Wade by saying that. If I was Wade, I'd do the same thing. You saw Kobe Bryant last year after their game, and he was all giving respect to Jeremy Lin. Yeah, because Kobe's huge in Asia. So you better be nice to Jeremy Lin if you want things to go well. It's kind of like how you see people, Rajon Rondo went over to the Philippines last year, and he went over to Hong Kong. And they asked him about Manny Pacquiao, who's Filipino, and he's like, "Yeah, I love Manny Pacquiao." That's right. You better love Manny Pacquiao if you want to do well in the Philippines. That's the way it goes. That's how it works. And that's why Jeremy's so important. And I'm not saying these guys don't like Jeremy or they wouldn't like him otherwise. I mean, it's kind of difficult to not like Jeremy, in my opinion. He's a nice person. He's well-mannered. He's intelligent. You know, I mean, how could you not like him? But I think these guys understand what Jeremy Lin represents. And Jeremy Lin's the future of the NBA, the future of the NBA market. I mean, I think most people understand how incredibly popular basketball is in Asia. It is unbelievably popular in the Philippines. I know that just from looking at our own videos and looking at where people watch from, and it is incredibly popular in China. I heard something like, 300 million people in China are interested in the NBA. That's like the population of the entire USA. Things are heading towards Asian markets. That's where the expanding markets are, or a number of them are. So if you want to have a successful business, if you want to have a successful sport, an international one, then you better figure out a way to attract the Asian market and have them happy with your product. And that's what Jeremy Lin represents in one sense, because now people in Asia have somebody they can relate to. And it's huge. I mean, it's great, just like Yao. And that's what it's about. And I think that, we understand that. And look, I just like Jeremy Lin. I'd do it anyway, just even if he wasn't important, because I like him. It's a good story. But somebody like Jeremy, because of how iconic he is, needs to have this done. He should have this done. So I'm just, I'm happy that we can do it. QQ974, you're right. Chandler Parsons does deserve a lot of credit for the team's success. He is kind of he does everything. He can hit threes. He's good in transition. He's a good passer. He's a good ball handler. Chandler does a little bit of everything, and he's going to continue to improve, just like Jeremy, just like James Harden, just like Omar Ashik, just like the rest of the guys. I love Chandler. Chandler's great. I just want to say in general, because I know this was mentioned in the comments, Coach McHale is not going to get fired. The reason why he's not going to get fired above everything else is because the team is performing above expectations. This team was not expected to challenge for the playoffs. They were not expected to be this good. And so when that happens, you can't really fire the coach. Even if you want to fire him, you can't fire him. Now, I know when we have that losing streak, 7-game losing streak, there was rumors and stuff, and that's the only situation in a year that's been this successful where you could possibly fire the coach. But it's not going to happen. We're past that point now. It's not going to happen. Kwok, I agree with you. I think Terrence Jones can help this team a lot. He's strong. He's very athletic. He probably just needs some time to work on his game, but I agree. He's definitely somebody that can help down the line. High-Unhurtful, Jeremy has improved a lot. You're right. He's improved a whole bunch, and he will learn from this game. He will learn about the fouling and the foul issue from this game, and that's just another thing for him to learn. I'm making a kind of like my own database for game-by-game information on Jeremy. And I was just, I was going through, he's played about 115 games now, and he started about 77 games. So again, he's like a rookie with a little bit more playing time. He still has a lot to learn. He's still got to learn things like when to foul and when not to foul and how to back off so you don't foul out and all this type of thing. So he'll learn from that. Jammy876, Houston can play with anybody, but you're probably right. Oklahoma City is probably the toughest matchup. And that makes sense. They're a great team. They're a great team, and they can beat you in a lot of different ways. So I don't know if Houston would get embarrassed, but they're not looking to play Oklahoma City in the playoffs either. Joyce Ward, I agree. I do think that Coach McHale sees J-Lin as a young player who needs more seasoning. I agree with that. I don't think he's a hater. I think he looks at him, as you said, like a rookie. I think that is how he sees him. And games like tonight are why you see that, why he might think that way. It's like, oh, man, you got to avoid the foul. A veteran knows how to avoid fouls and stay in the game, and Jeremy didn't do that tonight. So I think that's why Coach McHale is a little bit hesitant to give Jeremy the keys to the car, so to speak, of the offense and of the team. And he's more comfortable doing that with James Harden because James Harden's more proven and established. But Jeremy will get there. Jeremy's playing great. He's playing great this year. As I said in the last video, I mean, think about how far he's come this year. It's incredible. Official Oliver, John is just really busy these days. He's busier than he has been, so he hasn't had a chance to make as many videos in general. But he knows you guys love his Jeremy Lin videos, and he'll do them when he can. Just he wasn't able to do one for the last game. He's not going to be able to do one for this game. But sorry about that, but we will do the best we can with that. I also want to say Happy Chinese New Year. I know it's late. It's late. It's like a day ago that happened. We didn't have a chance to say that, but we wanted to say that to all the viewers in and from China. I guess it's the year of the snake. That's pretty sweet. The next game is Tuesday, and it is at the Golden State Warriors. Now, we all know what happened in the last game, which was go for the three-point record. No, we're not going to let you get the three-point record. And then Patrick Beverley fouled, and Marcus Morris gets too technical. So that's going to be a high-energy game. I'm quite sure of that. It's also going to be Asian Heritage Night there in Golden State. And so, I mean, it should be packed. Golden State has one of the best crowds in the NBA. Honestly, in some respects, I think they might be the best crowd in the NBA right now. They're just so fun. They're just so. I used to live out there. I used to live around Jeremy's old stomping grounds in Palo Alto, and I've gone to a few Golden State games, and the crowd was always good. But now it's like, I don't know what they did, but the crowd is awesome. It's so animated and just fun. I think it might be the best atmosphere in the NBA. So you're going to have that crowd and Asian Heritage Night, and it's a revenge game. All the emotions were high after the last game between these two teams, and it's going to be a tough game for Houston to win, even though Golden State is struggling a little bit right now. But that's why tonight was so tough. That game's going to be hard to win, so you got to win games like this. But, look, it happened. That's the way it is. Quack, I hope you're right. I hope that the Rockets do well against Golden State. We're going to find out very quickly. That's about it. Look, like I said, the wrap-up, it's a very disappointing game. This is a team Houston should beat, home or road. Sacramento was fired up because of the game yesterday and the big crowd, and, are they going to stay? Are they going to go? And Jeremy fouled out. And so Sacramento had an opening, and they took it, led by Isaiah Thomas, who Jeremy will be seeking revenge against in their next meeting, I'm sure. So that's it. That's the scoop. Give us your comments below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. We will include all the information in the video description below the video player, how you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. You can go check out video highlights of the game and the box score of the game and game stories. I am Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. It is 12:38 a.m. early Monday morning, February 11th, which means that it is about 1:40 p.m. on Monday, February 11th in Taipei, Taiwan. Hope everybody is having a great day or great night wherever you are when you watch this around the world. Take care. We will talk to you again soon.